Hello everyone, this is Orcaman, and welcome to a Project Stardust gameplay video. Today, we're going to teach you how to play every ship in the SBY category. People have done Star Wars already, and yeah. I'm going to start with SBY and do this one faction at a time. I'll make a poll what's next, but on with the video. First up is the most obvious one, the carrier. The carriers in this game, there's only one carrier, the Ark Royal. This carrier is one of the strongest carriers, in my opinion. What you do with this is basically you do this with every carrier. You send your drones and do damage. It's really not hard. This these shotguns I'm firing are hybrid. So if it's a long range map, which this is not, you can turn these into point defense. But one thing I also recommend is using your fighters that are not bombers. Set them on scramble to defend yourself. Because it's better to be safe than sorry. And that is how you play carriers. Alright, moving on, we have battle carriers. Now, battle carriers are slightly different. The Uncf battle carriers have all their guns facing forward, like their cannons, their wave motion guns, those kind of things. They have the same type of fighters as the standard carriers. You got the black, reds, zeros, and the tigers. So you basically do the same thing as carriers, but you can do it at a closer range because you have better weapons. The Apollo Norm has 2 wave motion guns, several missiles, and 2 heavy shot cannons. The ship can defend itself in a mid to close range map, but these would still much rather you use these on mid to long range maps, and that is how you play battle carriers. Next up is support tenders. Support tenders are not support ships. Like, this is the Asuka support tender. The ship has damage control seagulls, Cosmo seagulls, and what that means is you can heal other ships, like think MC-85 from the Star Wars tab, and you get the picture. And on top of that, the ship also has Cosmos Eagle recons, which could detect cloaked ships, and a shield torpedo. And basically what you want to do is, like, you keep these mid to back line, and if anyone fires at you, you open up the shield, and you just heal nearby teammates. And next up, we have the actual support vessels. The Haruna here is a tier 3. Unlike the Star Wars support ships, these ships do not have all point defense. They have medium flak. These are guns that you could turn into hybrid cannon and allow them to activate your point defense. The bad part is those are your only weapons. So if you just turn them on the point defense, you have to be in cover, or you're gonna get blown up. But these speeds can be lethal in close range maps because they have a lot of guns, and it only works if you're in a mid tier, not a high tier. And that is how you play support ships. Do not do this in high tier. Do it in mid tier. And the destroyers, you also want to use those in mid tier, but in a different way. The destroyers are normally flanker vessels. They are really fast and really agile. They have a bunch of missiles. So what you want to do with these is you just move to the side of the battlefield, and then what you want to do is just lay down fire from a distance, using all the firepower you got. These ships are the highest destroyers are also tier 3, so I would advise doing this in mid tier. You know, a bit of chewing and tomfoolery would never hurt anyone, except your victim, because of course they would. And that is how you play destroyers. And next up, wave motion gunship. Their name says it all. They pack a lot of wave motion gun firepower. The Vesuvio scattergun does, well, it is the Gatling gun of the game. But the regular Vesuvio and the Sagittarius are slightly different. They fire concentrated beams, not the Gatling gun beams. The You basically just stay in the back to midline and just lay down fire on clusters of vessels. It's really easy, and it's a lot of chewing and tomfoolery. Oh. Okay. Now we're on to the three battleship classes. The conventional battleships. These are to be used in a broadside role. Their shot cannons don't do as much damage. It's not worth going forward like the wave motion guns. You just go to the broadside and lay down fire. The exception though is the new Strashimi, which has most of its guns facing forward and has armor. These compression beams are just designed to lay down fire. The new Strashimi, these beams are just flank tanks, if you will. Like, they broadside and they can take a load of damage. And that is how you play conventional battleships. Command battleships are different. These things are mainly spearhead ships. Like, they charge in and using their afterburners, and they just lay down fire. These ships' only purpose is to use it has three-way motion guns and 6 turrets facing ahead. So basically, you use these ships in mid-range maps. You get your fires out if you want, but that is what you do with command battleships. And now the standard battleships. These things can be both used as broadsiders or forward attack ships. They're like they're like standard. They're like multi-role. The blue Noah has most of its guns facing forward. So what you want to do is you fire wave motion guns at an enemy, and then you turn left or right, and then you just use all your guns at will. Like, you do that, and then you quickly go to broadside, like so. And I will make a part, and in the next episode, we'll be going over. I'll make a poll. You guys could choose Gamulas, the Great Universal Alliance, or Gatlantis. I will leave that decision to you, my viewers. Anyway, that is how to play all the ships in the Uncf category. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if I think I missed anything. Anyway, this is Orca Man. Goodbye.